The Bible is a record of the experiences and the development of the soul and the whole being of humankind. It's also a treatise on our relationship with God. It's a treatise on our relationship with God. Maybe you don't know what to expect from God. Maybe you don't know what to think about God. Maybe you don't know what the voice of God sounds like. I mean, just maybe. Just maybe. It's possible. It's possible. So what you find in Scripture are some indications of what the nature of that relationship is. Maybe you're living below the level of a child of God. And maybe you think that makes you pious because you're doing it. Maybe you think there's some virtue in being broke. Maybe you think it's God's will for you to be sick. Right? Maybe you think there's something saintly about that. Maybe you've even been taught that someplace. Right? But it's a treatise on your relationship to God and God's relationship to you. And what you can rightfully expect as a child of God. Jesus asked in one of, who of you, right? You all parents, who of you being a parent would give your child a rock or a snake when they needed some bread? Not one. Not one parent would do that. Not one parent would do that. So then it does not make sense for children of the Most High God to be living beneath the poverty level because you think you cannot have, do, or be. You with me? We all right? You coming back next week? You promise? All right. Might be more fun next week. Might be. I might sing a little bit. How's that? Don't make me act silly. Don't make me act crazy. Come on. We're almost done. We're making it. We're making it. Let's keep going. As man is a threefold being, spirit, soul, and body, so the Bible is a trinity in unity. The Bible, in its body, is a book of history. So the stories that you read are recorded in history, but the scholar in me will not allow me to say that every story is a factual historical story. As I told you last week, Jonah, there's not a scholar worth his or her salt who says Jonah actually spent 3 days in the stomach of a big fish. Right? That's just, it's an allegory. It's an allegory. It's an allegory. The fact that it's an allegory does not mean that you can't still take it and apply it in your life. It just means that it may not be an actual historical event. Right? What number president is Barack Obama? That's a historical fact. Historical fact. Historical fact. Did Esther actually save her people from the king? I don't know. But it doesn't mean that there is not a state of consciousness in you that can go to the king that's about to oppress your divine people. You understand what I'm saying? So whether or not it's factual has very little bearing on whether or not it can help you evolve in your soul. Does that make sense? All right. So it is a body. As body, it's a book of history. As a soul, it's a teacher of morals. As soul, it's a teacher of morals. As soul, it's a teacher of morals. It tells you sometimes very plainly what to and what not to do. Now, if you like many people, when you get to the part of what not to do, that you put that part down. Nope. No, shake that one off. Shake that one off. But you have to expect the text to challenge you. If we talked about being able to evolve our souls and do better. And I think it's important that we respect the inspiration, the sacred inspiration of the scripture. Right? It can come through human, limited people and still be inspired. Right? Doesn't just have to be this that's inspired. I'm sure you've seen a piece of art, a Monet, that you knew was not just because of this artist. Or you hear some song from Stevie Wonder, and that's just not some plain guy. You know what I'm saying? That's got some divine, sacred inspiration behind it. You read a piece of literature, and it moves you. It begins to transform your soul, right? Or we got Martin Luther King Day coming up, or you hear a word from this prophet, and it changes a whole nation, right? So the fact that it comes through human channels does not necessarily change the inspiration that's within it. Be prepared to transform yourself when you encounter it. And if it challenges you, don't run from the challenge. Think. Approach it as a thinker. Approach it as a thinker. You don't have to approach it and just blindly accept it. Approach it as a thinker. If it says something that challenges you, ask questions. Ask questions of the text. Ask questions of God. That's okay. Does that make sense? Yes. You still with me? Yes. All right, you starting to dial. That yes was a little bit softer than the other yes. You still with me? You sure? Yes. All right, that's better. Where we at? Let's hit these last couple and get moving. The Bible characters. Characters of the Bible represent ideas in one's own mind. When this symbolism is understood, one can follow the characters in their various movements. Right? You can follow the character in his various movements. So when Abram goes from Abram to Abraham, that's a movement in consciousness. It's a movement that you should embrace as well. It's a movement that says you go from simply being exalted to being the father or mother of a multitude. That's a huge difference in what you're entitled to. That's a huge difference in what you have become heir to. But if you miss your promise, if you don't claim your promise, then you just go without. If you don't claim your blessing, you go without. Does that make sense? All right. Last one. It says consciousness is the awareness of being. It is the totality of all ideas, thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. And so what we will be transforming over this next year is our consciousness. We will be transforming our consciousness. We will be being transformed by the renewing of our mind. We will explore the aspects of our soul, the various aspects of our soul. We will get into the nuances of ourselves. And we will unearth the presence of God as life, love, wisdom, power, substance, joy, peace, happiness, the whole gamut. It's in there, like Prego sauce. Just waiting for us to pop the top on it, pour a little in the pot, sprinkle some salt and pepper on it, Put some noodles in it. Do you make the noodles first? When do you put the noodles in the? Better yet, I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. God bless you.